Bear Tech Repair, and today we have another case review. This time it is a mid-tower case from the people over at Antec. It is the 902 V3 mid-tower case. Now I will start off by going over the front panel with you guys. It has, and trust me, this is tricky, it has a total of 10 drive bays. Now you can set this up to either have 3 5 1/4 external and 6 internal, or 6 external, 3 internal, or a total of 9 external and 1 internal SSD. Now here in the front there are also 2 120mm fans that have washable fan filters. I believe they are blue LED fans, just the blades light up, not the fan itself. Here on the front we have your power button, which is a push-in power button, your mic and headphone jacks, which are actually not labeled as to which is which, so I guess you kind of have to guess on that one. You have a front USB 3.0, which is the main difference, or one of the differences between the V3 and the regular 902. You have 2 front USB 2.0 jacks and your reset button. Here on the side, we have a clear side panel with a mount for, it needs to be screwed in, with a mount for a 120mm fan that has a washable filter. I will get into that in just a second. Now here on the rear of the case, we have a total of 8 expansion slots, allowing for up to 3-way SLI or crossfire. We have a rear 120mm fan for exhaust, and we have your power supply out, and your I/O shield would go here. Now here up on the top, we have some fan controlling options. You can see here it says top. You can turn the LED on or off, and you can change the speed to low, medium, or high. It also has an option for your rear fan. It has an option for 2 rear fans, so this one only has 1. And you can change the speed here to low, medium, or high. Now also, on that note, on the front of the case there is also a fan controller. Right down here, it's a little hard to see because of all the honeycomb here, but there's a tiny little knob here. This little knob here on the front controls the speed of your 2 front fans from the outside of the case. If you're looking for a case with fan speed controllers that are all built in, this is the way to go. We'll go in the inside of the case here and show you a little bit of the features. You see it pops off nice and easy. Here on the rear, you can see what I was talking about with the fan. The fan would screw in right here and actually mount this down. That would also clip in on the sides, and it does have a removable filter if you need to do any cleaning. Now here on the inside of the case, we have some motherboard standoffs already set up for ATX, but this does fit up to ATX, micro ATX, and mini ATX motherboards. Now here on the rear, we have your rear fan cable, which is not sleeved. It is red and black. It is a Molex only connector. Your top fan is also red and black Molex only, and your front fans are also red and black unsleeved Molex only. Now there is another feature in this case, which I've not seen on many other cases. There is a spot for a third 120mm fan. Now it would just mount right in here, and it would sit right behind your drive bays, so you could have it pulling in even more air across your motherboard. So you can choose to have that, or you can choose not to. That is up to you. Now onto your I/O your front I/O connectors. They are not sleeved. They are individually colored, however. But so if you like sleeving, you would have to sleeve these all yourself to make it a nice black design. Your front USB header and your audio are black, but the USB 3.0 which is interesting for this case, is just a standard USB 3.0 plug. Here on the bottom, you can also notice that there is no bottom fan filter for your power supply. So you'll have to mount your power supply with the fan facing up to be able to bring in air from the inside of the case and exhaust out the rear. You cannot have it bring in cool air from the bottom of the case. You can see there's also a motherboard cutout back here, which we will see here in a second. And there is room for support for one SSD, but there is hardly any radiator support in this case. You would have to do some custom fabricating to be able to mount like an H100i to control your CPU, but that is your choice. Now, they've made an interesting choice here on how they decided to mount their drives. You have to undo thumb screws to mount your drives. So you would take out the thumb screws, slide your drive in, and then turn in the thumb screws. Now, with the accessories, we have a honeycomb design accessory for your front for your optical drive. We have a metal plated HHD an SSD drive to easily slide in there so you won't have to do any custom drilling. And you also get all your standard nuts and bolts for your hard drives. All that wonderful goodness. Now, there is not a lot of room back here. So, if you are a big, neat freak and you have very thick cable lines running back here, there is very little clearance. So, you'll have to be very careful when you're doing your cable management. It does come with some pre-installed little rubber zip ties here, and also grommets all along the back of the case to attach your own zip ties if so needed. And continued on from the other side of the case, you have your thumb screws for your optical drives or your hard drives. So if cable management is an issue for you, you might want to be careful looking at this case because it does have very little clearance. So I will put this back together and I will give you my final thoughts on the case and what I think about it. Alright guys, so dimensions wise we're looking at, it's about 19.4 inches tall, 8.6 inches wide, and about 19 inches deep. My final thoughts on this case, if you're looking for a lot of airflow in a mid-tower case, this would be a definite yes for you because of the two front 120s with the fan controller, the optional 120 in the drive bay, the side 120 in the side here, and the rear 120 with all of their own fan controllers. This would be the optimal case for you if you're looking for a lot of airflow. If you're looking to run three-way SLI in a mid-tower case, you would need all of that airflow. Now there are some cons. I do not like the way that the hard drives have to be mounted with the thumb screws. I think that's a little counterintuitive. But I myself, I'm just used to the plastic, so it might be easier, it might not be. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. But all in all, I think if you're looking for a mid-tower case with a lot of airflow, with easy fan controllers that are easy to access from the outside of the case, this would probably be the case for you. The only things to remember is that this does support regular ATX, micro ATX, and mini ATX boards. It does not have sleeved fan cables or front input cables, so if you would like to have a fully black design, you'd have to sleeve your own cables. And also, the fan connectors are Molex only. So, for some people that would be a plus, for some people it would be a minus, but that's all up to you. Also, the front fan and the two front fans do glow blue LED, so if you like that, that's fine. If not, you might want to take a look at that. This top fan, I'm not sure if I showed it yet, but it's what they call the Big Daddy. It is a 200 by 30 millimeter called the Big Boy Tri-Cool Blue LED exhaust fan. It does have its own controller. This fan is a beast. I had a 200 millimeter in the front of a Cooler Master case, a half 932 Advanced, and that was in a full tower case, and it pushed a lot of air, so I can only imagine. But if you're looking for something that you can bring to a LAN party, and that would be easy to transport, it comes in at around 25 pounds. Fully stocked, I would say it would come in probably around 50 to 80, depending on your particular build. But it would be very easy to transport. Alright guys, this has been Tan Colbert with Colbert Tech Repair with the Antec 902 V3 mid-tower gaming case. If you liked, give it a like. If you didn't, feel free to give it a dislike. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down in the comment sections right down below. You can find me on Twitter at TanColbert92, and you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/ColbertTechRepair. See you guys next time.